Hello, hello. Thank Godot, it's Friday. How's it going? Welcome to episode 301 of Digital Iliad, making an FTL-like in Godot. We're entering our 4th century. How's it going, Nanigans? Thank Godot, Rhiannon. Sorry I'm getting started so late today. I was really struggling with my work this morning. I had to push some of it back into the afternoon. Finishing up my coffee. Still got a little heat left. Nanigans, you'll be honest, my hello made you jump? That's funny. Yeah, people will leave me in the background tab apparently and be surprised. They'll be like, who is this? You'd your sound up louder than normal? That's pretty great. I should lean into that. I try to be kind of quiet or like, you know, I don't really like go crazy with my intro, but maybe I should shout my intro from now on. Work's been a pain today over there as well. Yeah. Well, for me, it's at least a holiday weekend, long holiday weekend, which I am very much looking forward to. There won't be a stream tomorrow. I'm going to my Godot meetup. But let's see what we can do today. I was writing this the episode description for YouTube because I write a new description sometimes. If it's still relevant, I'll let the same description ride for like a few days or a week or something. So in the future, if anyone ever collates these, they might be able to, that might help. But today I was just writing it and I was like, I don't remember what we were working on. Let's find out. Let's figure it out. In ergonomic news, I'm really enjoying this little used mouse I got. I don't recommend Logitech, but this mouse is nice. It's got a thumb trackball. It's really nice for my day job. I haven't used it for much else. But it's been good so far. We'll see. Nanigans, you've been doing good? You got the vanishing faces bug fixed. Nice. I think your logic is inconsistent. So to try to track down... So you're trying to track that down and then work on fixing the normals. Yeah, that seems tough. That seems tough to identify where that flaw might be. I want to start everything up here, but I had the idea yesterday, and I actually want to just spend a minute talking about it. Which I thought it would be funny to see, like, since we're starting our 4th century, I thought it would be interesting to see what happened in the 4th century. BC, of course. Thought it would be funny. So if we look at our Wikipedia here, 4th century was pretty interesting. It starts off, the part of the world I'm mostly interested in is, you know, the Mediterranean, but the 4th century started off rough. It was a rough start. In 399 BC, they sentenced Socrates to death, which is rough, or Socrates. In 396, Camillus destroys Veii. I don't know how to pronounce their name, but that's very famous. That's a very famous section of Livy, of from the founding Rome history. The dictatorship of Camillus and the destruction of the Etruscan city of Veii and the Veientes. I honestly don't know anything about Kalashoka and the Second Buddhist Council. The Corinthian War started, which I'm actually not familiar with, but it's a war with Athens, Thebes, Corinth, and Argos, backed by Persia, which is fascinating, because a century before it was very different. Fighting against Sparta. And a few years later, they hold a peace conference. I don't know Antichides. Oh, they exiled the ambassadors. Man, Athenian democracy was so hardcore. You get sent over to negotiate a peace, you fail and get exiled. The word ostracize comes from their name for the name for little shards of pottery. Which is neat. Look that up. Dionysius, tyrant of Syracuse, tries to conquer like more of Magna Graecia, aka southern Italy. I remember reading something about that. Dionysius, I feel like, played a role in one of the Punic Wars. Also don't know anything about the Egyptian pharaohs in this time. Oh man, that was just the 390s. Oh shoot. Yeah, this goes crazy. Yeah, the 4th century is huge. I'm not going to go through all of it. I just thought it would be funny. I kind of don't want to work today. Nanigans. But that's not what people aren't here for Greek history, so you know. Even though it's in the name. Nanigans, the normals, you think, are likely you just passing the vertexes in the wrong order. That is usually what happens with normals, right? The order is key. They make a lot of presumptions about that, don't they? So I don't remember where we left off. Honestly, I should probably be like reviewing the last few minutes of the previous stream. Why am I opening this again? But I don't do that. So we're just gonna kind of YOLO into this. See what we're gonna work on today. I think this is gonna be a quiet day. I'm like feeling into the ether. I think this is gonna be a quiet one. I can feel it in my bones. This is gonna be a chill day, chill stream, which is fine. Last weekend was crazy. We had some huge streams. All right, so we can do this, and then like, what do we need to do? I guess I should keep working on the thing that I wanted to work on this whole time, which was a system for manually overwriting the Z height, because I currently can't do that. And there's times where you'd want to, like, what if you wanted to build something down back behind here? You would need something for that, which makes me think that we might actually want some kind of higher Z level thing. I don't know if I want you to be able to see behind stuff like that. That might need to be a shader or something for some cases. But yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to do today. I really don't. I kind of want to add in the manual Z-axis control stuff. Try to get that where I can like manually set, like I can start a selection and then control the Z level changes and overwrite what the raycast system is doing. I would like that. I would like to do one of those. That's probably what we'll work on. Hey, Stubenhocker. You were so confused where a voice was coming from. That's so funny. We were just talking about that. Because I spooked Diginanigans by starting my stream. That's so funny. I said people will leave me in a background tab and get confused. It's funny that that happened. How's it going? Happy Friday. Yeah, so right now what currently happens is that as soon as I hit the control key, all of my input stops reading, which is interesting. That means we've got some kind of exclusive input processing going on here. Which we probably need to look into. Make these string names for no reason. Oh yeah, let me change the radio to something a little more chill. What do I want today? What do I want to listen to today? Maybe some guitar music. Rhiannon, you've been tearing down your game again, and you finally got a rough version of a component style system and state machine working. Finally wrapping your head around how to use generics also. Ooh, yeah, generics are great. None of my stuff would work without generics. That's cool. Have you been using the gameplay programming patterns website? Because they talk about all those different things like state systems, command patterns. They don't write it in a C# standpoint, but it's like a great resource. Hey, No Jewel, how's it going? Happy Friday. You think you're going to be going to I think they're moments away from announcing like a GodotCon Amsterdam. Yeah, it is good reading material. It's really cool because it's almost like written as like an understanding of like the big four, or whatever they call them, the big design, the like classic archetypal like design pattern book, but it's like rewritten for it like touches on all those patterns, but for games. It's really good. So the big four or the big five? I don't remember. Nice, will be there. Nice. Yeah, it sounds good. I'm still hoping that there will be some kind of North America GodotCon this year. They said there will be. But and by they, I mean the Boston user group said that they're planning on one. But hasn't been announced either. So, kind of just waiting. It's probably closer than the Munich one. Nice, nice. Gang of Four? Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I think the Gang of Four is something else. Oh, no, that might be it. That might be it. Let me see. I think he talks about it. Yeah, the classic, the design patterns, elements of reusable object-oriented software. Yeah, they are the Gang of Four. Eric Gamma, Richard Helm, Ralph Johnson, and John Velicides? Yeah. Shenanigans, detect if you're placing your block behind stuff, and if so, just have the cursor tile have no fill. Make the outline be dotted. Yeah, maybe. The problem is dotted outlines look really bad in this. In my opinion, dotted outlines look gross in this format. So like if I were to dotted outline one of these, it would be like just take this. Problem is, in my mind, dotted outlines just look bad. Like, there's only a few ways I could dotted outline this. One of them would be like this. This looks really bad. It looks fine if it's by itself. But as soon as it's being drawn over something, it looks just awful, in my opinion. And you would always see it being drawn over something. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna really use dotted outlines for anything. I also don't know how this part would be. I don't even know what I would do for this. Yeah. Yeah, I really don't like the interaction between the black outline and the white outline. We'll probably do some kind of slick thing, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. How would a checkboard mask look? I don't know. I don't know how. What would a checkboard mask look like? Checkboard. Checkerboard mask? Yeah, I don't know. We can try some stuff eventually. I'm just very skeptical. The dottedness isn't following the lines themselves. Yeah, I don't know. We'll maybe try it. I'm skeptical. Hey, Sapphire, video only. Hi, Sapphire. Bye, Sapphire. So we have Z-level control mode is activated by the control key. But I think the problem is most of these are case sensitive. This isn't. This records it. This records it. So this will record the Z accumulator. It should not be doing that unless we are in... We shouldn't be doing any of this. Well, I guess that's not true. We should do a thing. We should say if... could say else. So that we should be setting this correctly. Should be. It's famous caveat there. All right, so if we set the Z level control, and we set the scroll. And then, so the mapping system should take over from here. I'm like desperate to finish this coffee before it goes cold. Problem is it's a latte, so it is mostly just warm milk, which is making me a bit sleepy. It very much counteracts the effect of the espresso. How's everyone doing today? All right, so we do this whole cursor hit list thing up here, and then we decide how to use that information. And this is where it's time to like overwrite the control Z, particular control Z level. This will need to do multiple things. Like when we're not in, actually, I misinterpreted this. I actually want to undo everything I just did here. For some reason, I thought I'd only want to alter the Z level controls or the Z level scroll if we were in control of the Z level, but actually being in control of the Z level is totally separate than setting the scroll. Because we actually need to set the Z level scroll either way. Because even if we're not in manual mode, the Z level control, the scroll is going to control where in the cursor block hit list we land. Normally it just takes whatever's at the top, but you need to be able to scroll into it. That'll probably require quite a bit of work to get working correctly here. And we won't really be able to see the result of our progress until we get the cutaway system working again. This new understanding we have. Anigans, you love you a good latte. Still need to you need to fix your espresso machine. That is not something one does themselves generally. But yeah, it's expensive to get the espresso machinists out. There's a lot of coffee stuff I've been able to repair in my time. usually coffee grinders, like commercial grinders, but I've never tried to repair an espresso machine. I've had to tune espresso machines in some pretty challenging environments. And it's annoying, and it requires constant work just to get that perfect shot. All right. So the Z-level scroll should be changing no matter what. If we have Z-level control... I think it's just clogged up. Ah. Yeah, cleaning an espresso machine is annoying, but not as involved in terms of labor. Yeah, I'm a pour-over coffee guy. I usually have 1 cup of coffee every day, right in the morning, first thing. And then I'm on tea the rest of the day. I can't do more than 1 cup of coffee a day. It messes with my stomach. It's not a caffeine thing at all. It's just like a... I don't know. But I can drink tea all day, and I might do later. It's been so dry out here. It's been crazy. All right. What am I doing? So we're setting the Z level manually by clamping it between this plus the scroll, and it's between 0 or Z. Okay. If we have something in the hit list, we're resetting the cursor coords to be that. With the offset. Oh, and then the Z level is this with the offset. Z. Okay, yeah, we'll need some way of being able to alter that. And then otherwise, we just set it to be this. And again, similar with you, you usually have 2 cups. If you have a third, it doesn't agree with you later. Yeah. I make my coffee really strong, so 1 is usually enough for me. I use like twice as much beans as like it's generally recommended to with the pour over. Like our weird little cowboy music. All right, so why are we observing the behavior that we're observing? Which is a combination of unhelpful and just kind of broken. So I can do whatever, but as soon as I hit control, we stop updating the cursor coordinates. So that's the first thing we should fix. And then if I start scrolling, that doesn't do anything. So that's annoying. Shenanigans. Just done in the French press. Oh, nice, nice, nice. If you have anything stronger, you drink less. The French press is like the strongest cup of coffee I think you can make. For at least, you know, traditional means. I love a French press. Definitely my favorite way to make coffee. I made some siphon coffee over the holidays with a friend, and that was fun too. It was a bit too much work, in my opinion, but it was nice. It was a nice, to me, it was somewhere between pour over and French press. Hey, Commander, apologies for being late. Don't worry about it. We're not big on punctuality here. I'm just glad you made it at all. How's it going? Thank Godot, it's Friday. Yeah, indeed. All right. So why does that totally lock up our control system? If I have that on, you know, it probably is how I'm tracking the cursor for one thing. That's probably the board's responsibility. Who does this? You grab this, do that, set the tile mapping. Okay, once we set the tile mapping, then what? So we set the tile mapping. Why do we call it that? Why don't we just call it set cursor chords or something? I guess I kind of want it to mean something different. So we set the tile mapping, and then I'm enjoying this music a lot. And then up here, we grab that from the tile mapping, do all of this stuff. Oh, so if game.input.zLevel control. So there's nowhere in here for us to update. I see. I see. So I should probably set the Z level, and then I should probably say game.input.cursor coords equals. I guess if we're setting it, if we're controlling it manually, should we set the W separately? Probably. I'm not sure about the W part. Maybe we set it to 0 at first. We already set this, so we have this. Cursor chords plus equals spiral pattern. Okay, so we manipulate that, so we can't just use it. We have to go back to this. So I can set Z and then W. So I can say cursor, Z level, and then I can say W. W would be 0. You know, I probably still want... I'm not sure what to do about the Z or the W mapping yet. I know we want it. It's just a question of what we're going to do with that. So now what? So now if I do this and then I set control, okay. Oh, it's offset now. You know what? That makes some sense. It's not correct though. What's happening here? It should be going down. What if I scroll? Okay, so scrolling doesn't seem to do anything. Oh, did it? Oh, it does do something. I added an accumulator. I forgot about the accumulator. I think the accumulator is maybe not sensitive enough. That's gonna be really tough to tune. I'm probably gonna need to have a sensitivity control for that or something. Although maybe not. I don't know. What if I just do it every frame? I think that's going to be out of control, but let's test it. Where do we even handle that? I think we handle it here. So this is where we have the accumulator. So right now we have a Z level speed. Right now it's 10. What if it was 100? I don't like doing this sort of thing with accumulators and everything. So we're going to try to see if we can do it with 1 per frame. Yeah, because this is already way too sensitive. Okay, what if we do it without an accumulator? I'm also considering a timer to prevent you from doing it too rapidly. Hey, Mr. Magoo. Mr. Conductor, I should say. How's it going? Nanigans? Yeah, different mice can have drastically different feels with how they scroll. I know, it's annoying. It's the sort of thing I'm not looking forward to. It's kind of why I want to do a timer. Where it'll be like, you could go up one Z level, maybe like 1 per second or something like that. Or not maybe on 1 per second, maybe 1 per half second or quarter second or something. It needs to be slower than 1 per frame. That's for sure. And an accumulator is going to be really hard to tune, so I'd rather not. So let's maybe recreate that. That is not how you... Control K. I know my GD script. Sort of, sometimes. Some of the time. Yo, yo, yo. How are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm just glad it's Friday. There's no stream tomorrow. I'm going to my Godot meetup, my monthly Godot meetup. It's at Noise Bridge. If there's any locals, I feel like going to that. Yeah, it's good. And then it's a holiday weekend for me. Monday is MLK Junior Day, which my company observes as a holiday. So I'm feeling fine. Trying not to think of all the work I'm going to have to catch up on Tuesday. Nanigans, especially if you have a mouse that is meant for Windows that tries to emulate smooth scroll. Oh, Lord. Yeah, my mouse, the mouse that I mainly use is has one of those unlockable modes. So it has like a jagged scroll mode where it's like there's like whatever mechanism on the scroll where it goes like step by step, and then you can unlock it and it freely scrolls for when you need to scroll down like 1,000 rows in like a spreadsheet and you want to do it quickly and you can't be bothered to just like mouse over to the scroll wheel or the scroll section of the whatever. And the way we have this set up, it's not always going to even be a mouse scroll. Like on a joystick, it's not going to be a mouse scroll. It would probably be like the triggers or something. Or a D-pad up, down, or something like that. So we want to be able to support discrete movement, and we also need to be able to handle continuous movement, but in a way that doesn't make you insane. It's not great. No, Joel, you've the same, but it's buggy when you scroll in the editor somehow. That's crazy. I mean, the editor is just its own special kind of Godot game, right? But it makes sense. Yeah, so you can see when I scroll, it's like discrete, and that's because I have this lock engaged, and I can unlock it, and now I'm just like continuously scrolling very smoothly. Interesting. Even if I stop the scroll wheel, it continues to scroll until I provide some kind of counter force. Fascinating. Yeah, so let's try a different attempt at this. So we could just read the, we could just say else z-level move or z-level input value equals 0. We could say z-level. Well, we don't need this move up, move down thing, do we? Oh, I guess we do. We'll set it to 0. So it'll be -1, 1, or 0. Honestly, this should probably not be a float. It made sense to make it a float when it was tied to the accumulator. think it should be an int. Say like move direction. All right, this may be a little too sleepy time for me. There we go. I'm not trying to put myself asleep. I'm just trying to chill, you know? All right, unhandled input. So wait, why are we setting this like this? This is wrong. What we should be setting is we should be setting these. And then processing them down here. How's it going, No Jewel? What have you been up to? Or anybody. I just like checking in with everyone. I'm just going to keep singling people out. How are you, Magoo? No Jewel, you released a new asset? Are you doing it or is it out yet? Like, do you have a link? Yeah, do you have a link? Show me. Show me what you got. Ooh. This banner is sick, firstly. This is like destroying my camera's ability to white balance my video here. Oh, you got a $2,000 goal going. Ooh. So what is this, like some post-processing to like wrap your UI? This custom, oh, here, I'll read it. Real Pixel UI VFX. This custom rich text label lets you add some burning hot effects using BB code. Some static, some dynamic, and some can even interact with the cursor. Modify the shape of your text with a growing collection of effects to add more character to your text. More. Text. It's not free this time, like your shield effect was. Your shield effect was so fire. And it's doing this entirely with BB code. It's not like what I would consider post-processing. Oh, that's so neat that you have this text here and then you show what's causing it with the BB code. So did you write, are these effects, did you create these? These aren't just accessible under BB code normally, right? These are like registered. You have to like register a different additional effects. It does look awesome. Hey, Arneo, hover the cursor over the cursor text. Yeah, exactly. No, Joel, you hacked it a bit. It's not handled over the BB code completely. Okay, but it's how you like, that's how like the user encodes it. All right, this is loud for some reason. this is so loud. We're going back to my regular radio. Yes, sick. Super cool. Palette-based shader effects, perfect for stylized pixel art. Effect wrapper class to apply effects to any of your existing UI elements. Inspector add-on. Easily set up effects for the rich text label. Well, we got to put this in the developer resources in the Discord. I'm gonna bookmark this. Oh, you're including some pixel art fonts? That's nice. How do you get it going? You copy the add-ons into the folder, the project folder. You enable a plugin. You search for the new classes. And it's that easy. Dang. What do you got on your roadmap? Dedicated docs, web compatibility, improved web compatibility, tools for baking effects into optimized sprite sheets. Ooh, very cool. Continued library expansion with new effects. I'll be really interested to see how this goes because, oh, it's on sale right now, 50% off. Heck yes. I like that you can run it right in here. What does that do? A no jewel asset. Made with Godot. That is the cutest little Made with Godot splash screen. I need to make my own Made with Godot splash screen. Oh, that looks fire. I mean, I know that's literally fire, but seeing this in motion is great. This doesn't... Oh, and it's cursor. These ones are cursor inactive. That's great. I see what you're doing here. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, and I can make the growing collection do stuff? Or is it doing that anyway? Oh, it's doing it anyway. More character. I like the little chromatic aberration thing going on there. I love this cursor interactive one. That's so wild. The different effects as you get into different radiuses. You get to different distances. That's so cool. And I can just change the font on the fly. That's wild. Oh, and it just lets me add stuff to the beginning. Neat. Oh, I can just write in here. This is super cool. Oh man, look at these button wraps. I can edit the text. Yeah, I saw I was doing it accidentally. This is so cool. I like this one. It's kind of low frame rate animation. No jewel. I love your little icon too. Very clever. And I like that you can combine them. So you've got fire on all of this, but you're also doing a wave on top of that for a subsection of it. So cool. Yeah, I'm a keep this. I'm gonna keep track of this. Reminds you of a modernized take on GeoCities. That's definitely the kind of thing people like nowadays. Yeah, I'm gonna post that to dev resources in the Discord later. That's really great. That's cool. I hope that works out. I hope that's very successful for you. Do you like doing that, working on plugins and stuff? I can't be bothered.
He's dead, Jim.
You're also in the node letter and I'm not, so audio set like really high for some reason? No. It's just a loud song. I am starting to think about how to break up my code into packages because I am getting sick of having all of my tools and stuff in one project. But I don't think I'm going to go so far as to make them plugins. I think they'll just be C# packages that you can depend on. You peaked with that mention? No, you haven't peaked. Submit a Godot con talk. They'll just let anyone come up there and talk. All right, so if we're going to do this without an accumulator, do I even need to set the direction? I don't. I don't even need this stupid extra field. I don't need any of these. All right, we're going to try this without an accumulator. This doesn't need to be a float. It could be an int. Yeah, I'm casting it to an int anyway. Why not just make it an int? No, Joel, the stuff you're learning and headaches about shaders and optimizing for web is probably worth a talk. I would imagine so. I would certainly think so. You could do it for sure. And if you sell a few copies of your plugin while you're doing it, no harm in that. Most industry talks are thinly veiled advertisements anyway for a service. I mean, GDC would be dead without their sponsored talks, right? I was talking to a dev the other night at the in-person little get-together I was at. I was asking people, I was like, are you paying for a GDC ticket this year? And one guy was like, I've never paid for a GDC ticket. I just submit a talk every time. And I'm like, that is the strat. I should start doing that. I asked him what his success rate was for submitted talks, and he was like 50-50. So if I submit 2 talks every GDC, I'll probably get accepted for one of them, you know? Hey, Mr. Magoo on a 10 stream streak. That's more than one. That's not bad. That's not bad. You can be proud of that. Shenanigans. People almost always do talks to either promote a product, service, or themselves. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, so we're going to try to do this frame by frame. I do think a timer might be needed. But let's see. Okay, I don't love that it defaults to like such a high level. I don't like that, whatever's going on there, but if we do that and then I scroll down. All right. One per frame is actually totally fine, I think. Why am I stuck here? What is the board size? Oh, the board limit is actually quite low. All right, so there's some stuff going wrong. This is wrong. It's like popping up. It should actually pop down. Or stay still. It should either pop down or not move. It's lifting up. But once I have it, I have control. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I think I do need to account for the W for the offset when I'm doing this, because you want to start wherever you are. You don't want it to like shift when you start taking manual control. Nanigans, can you leave a shadow over the part you were actually hovering on so you can tell where it lines up? I want to turn that back on. We used to have one of those, and I've kept a code block around, commented out, that did that for us. I'm gonna get that back on, because yeah, that would be super crucial when you're doing this sort of thing. Or maybe it wouldn't be crucial, but it would certainly be helpful. Also, what happens if I do this and I'm like doing a... Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, it accomplishes kind of what we want. Why is that so slow in this mode? It was very responsive, and now it's like crazy slow. Feels weird. Something weird going on there. I mean, there's a reason I was trying to give it some extra frames to work on this sort of thing and not have to do it every frame. Why are you so slow when you're in this mode? That's concerning. There's something about placing more than one block or placing multiple Z levels that's causing some issues. Huh. I think I might understand what's going on there, but let's look at the system executor here. Let's make sure we're not accidentally doing a sync all the time. False. Okay, still false. Yeah, so that's just the... Oh, that's not good. Man, the input queue. It turns out the input queue was actually really good. Even if we don't use a command pattern, it might still be worth it to set up a queue so that these can be used more than the... Okay, so we're not accidentally... Well, hold on. Let me set this up. Let me see this. Let me make sure we're not doing something weird. No. Yeah, it's become very slow for this particular. Why are you so slow? All right, we're heading into ads. Hold on to your ads, people. Okay, well, I'm satisfied that we're not like accidentally running some like very expensive systems. Z-level input value. Oh, that's old. console output. So yeah, at no point did we accidentally... Okay, good. It's all good. Okay, so I don't think we're accidentally running this. I don't think we're running this either. Giving it a couple frames wouldn't do anything, though, because this is something that needs to be incredibly responsive. You know what you know what the bottleneck probably is? It's probably the tile system. Probably the tile drawing system. I probably need a better way to do this part. Probably all this allocation. I don't know how to get around that. You know what's an interesting question? I wonder if this is slower than the other way we were doing. I'm gonna pull up a git diff for a couple of changes ago. I tried to be clever and I tried to rewrite the tile drawing system in such a way that it didn't need to. It's using like pinned, or it's using fixed byte arrays to avoid having to copy the array before it's being pushed over. There's no way that this is the slow part, but I don't know. I'm a little skeptical. No, there's no way this is the slow part. Because allocating a new byte array every time we run this function would have just happened anyway, because at the end of this thing, there was a 2 array copy. So we were always copying it, and then we were probably copying it again. I wonder where the bottleneck is. Obviously, I should be running a profiler. Nanigans, your normals are definitely messed up. You tossed a screenshot on the Discord. Yeah, let's see what's going on here. Arneo, I saw you're still trying to make the bear take a bow thing happen. So I was like, let me just post a little gif of Bernard taking a bow. And then I had to also do the yoga one. Let me open this in a new... How do I open this? In another thing. Open in browser. Oh yeah, that's I would say that's unusual. If not strictly wrong. Interesting. Okay. It's gonna be super hard to profile this. All right, so I want to understand why there's an offset as soon as I assume manual control. The one move per frame thing seems to be okay for some reason. That doesn't make any sense to me, but it seems to be okay. Maybe it's okay because we're actually taking forever to execute the frame. Well, what is happening that's weird? So this is wrong. Whatever's going on here is a bit wrong. And for all my criticism of steamed milk, it stays hot for a long time. There's a number of coffee preparation methods I don't use because I feel like the result is just not hot enough. French press is ideal. French press stays so hot for so long because it never gets aerated. I mean, it does when you pour it into your cup, obviously, but it's good. Certain pour overs don't work for me, like Chemex. Like when you're finally done with a Chemex pour over, it's like room temperature. I know that's an exaggeration, but it's how I feel. At least if you're doing a paper filter Chemex, you can do a metal cone filter Chemex, and it's pretty good. I have a lot of opinions about coffee preparation. I'm a little worried this system was always really slow, but we weren't usually constructing very large blocks. And in reality, you would almost never be doing that anyway, so I guess it being kind of slow is okay. The song is called Lazy Oasis. Feels appropriate. I know I'm always like, oh, what a cool song, and the audio ducking just like kills the song. People are like, what are you talking about? I couldn't hear it because you were talking over it, Dave. My bad. All right, so the problem is when we're in this mode, we are using this offset. When we're not in this mode, when we're in direct control mode, what's happening is the cursor Z level is getting clamped like that. It shouldn't. Cursor Z level equals this plus Z. Is this dot Z plus this dot Z? So that should be getting set correctly. But that's not exactly what I'm observing. Maybe it's the lack of the W component. I probably need to just put the W component. Can't I just use whatever the current W component is? I probably can. Probably can just say this. Let's see if that just instantly fixes it. No. Oh, now it's even worse. Huh. We should get the shadow projection down. I don't know how I want to render the shadow projection though. Realistically, it needs to be its own tile map layer thing. You know, another thing I've been thinking about that may or may not be worth it is like, right now we have just an absolute crap ton of tile map layers to handle this. And they're all interleaved, you know, based on their Z levels. Wonder if it's worth it to have a system that figures out what like actually all of the viewable tiles are, and like we just have 3 layers that handle all of those. I guess that won't work because of partial overlaps. Well, maybe it would work. I guess it would work actually. I don't know. I think maybe it would be worth doing that. We have to figure out where the bottleneck is. There's also a possibility I want to consider, which is to accelerate the handover of the tile map layers by doing some threading on the Godot side. Because right now, if we're passing over a ton of different tile map data, it's all happening sequentially, but it could totally happen in parallel. I just need to understand the Godot threading process a little better. I'm a little concerned about doing threading in C# and Godot simultaneously. A little concerned about that, but I think it'd be worth trying. Okay, so why do we see this jump that's now even worse? Interesting. So is it only 1 level low? I see. What's going on there? Oh, interesting. I see. Okay, so the indirect nature of it is working in that it lets me like do stuff behind, which would be hard to do otherwise. It does let me hard lock. You know what would probably help this is the suggestion of only modifying some kind of major axis. Because it would be pretty what's locking me down is when I'm doing these huge volumes, but we would never want to do this. We would want to force you to do it wall by wall, probably. And that might have the unintended side effect of being, like, way performant. Way more performant. I gotta figure out what this offset is, though. This weird-ass offset that I've somehow made way worse. Shenanigans, you would imagine the threading should be fine as long as you keep them independent. Yeah, but how would I keep them independent, right? You've basically got a client-server relationship going on between Godot and C#. So I'd basically be trusting Godot and C# to not be, like, booking the same threads, right? And that's way beyond my pay grade to manage. So, yeah, I think it would probably work. I take very different approaches, I think. For that, like for my C# stuff, I like just giving it a thread and have it operate in the background until it's done. Something that was very difficult to do with like the Unity job scheduler with their .ccs. They like really didn't want you to go that route, but that's my preferred route. What they like to do, which is what I think I would do on the Godot side, is throw as many threads as you can at the problem because that problem needs to be solved every frame. Like if we need to update a ton of tile map data, we need to do that in a frame. So we need to grab all the threads that are available to do that we can get away with. And I think that's what Godot prefers you do. I did some reading up on it previously. I just kind of shelved it. I tabled it because I didn't need it at the time, but I think we're going to dip back into it if this continues to be a problem. That's a very insightful thought, Nanigans, though. This idea that I've essentially got a client-server relationship between the C# domain and the Godot like rendering side. I think that's a good way to think about it. I should try to let that inform more of my decisions. All right, but right now we're trying to distinguish some of this stuff a little bit. So we do want to take the cursor Z level. We want to clamp it. Oh yeah, we want to unlock the game board maximum, which should actually be 63. Let's see if that by itself causes a failure of anything. Yeah, it seems like these large block assignments are causing a horrible time. I'm really curious about where the horrible time is coming from. It's really hard to profile both the C# side and the Godot side. But that's because I made weird choices. All right, let's focus on the actual problem we have here, which is that when I engage the direct control, we're offsetting the cursor by some weird amount. So I think maybe grabbing the tile mapping.xy is probably a mistake. Maybe it's not, though. So here I have this plus vector 3i.1 times cursor z level. I think I maybe want this. Let's try to make it just this with an important caveat. Can I say with W equals this? Okay, it doesn't have a W. It's a problem. So instead I should just say new vector 4i. What's the problem here? That lack of a... Let's see if that does it. I don't think it will, but let's see. Let's see what's going on here. I might actually want it to be subtractive, but I don't think so. Okay, it's heading in the right direction. You know what I actually probably want to do? I probably do want to make it minus. Let's see if that's true. Well, I want it to be this one. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see how this goes. Kind of. Almost. Almost what I want. It's like forgetting the W component for some reason. Or it's misapplying it in a weird way. Hey, Sergey. Thank you for the follow. Happy Friday. Hope things are going well. But yeah, at least we can like... Whoa. I see. I see what's going wrong there. So you know what? Let's try plus X. Let's try this. Let's try plus... Actually, I want to do an experiment. I want to see if the offset is affected by what Z level we're at when we start. So let's actually make this just multiple Z levels high and see what happens. Doesn't really matter more than that. Oh, I can't really tell where it is though, where it's going. Where is it going? Okay, well, that wasn't it. I probably want this plus vector 3i.xy and this vector 2i.xy, vector 2i.1. I actually want to add an xy, huh? You can just say new one. Excuse me. Oh, so right now it's actually just being lifted up 1x. Okay, interesting, interesting. Maybe we don't want the W. Check one more thing first. What if this was 0? Like, what if we ignore that? I don't think that's right, but I'm curious. Oh, well, it's kind of doing what I want. It's actually doing like exactly what I want now. Maybe that was right. Okay, the direct locking it is quite nice. It's definitely doing what I want it to. Oh, we can't go down though. Or maybe we are. Yeah, we are. I just can't see it. Yeah, there's definitely like a gruesome cost trying to do a big volume, but if I keep it to like a wall, it's not too bad. It must be, because it seems to be very much like, how many tile map layers do you have doing this? That must be where the bottleneck is. So maybe I'll think about threading. Maybe that's what I'll do on Saturday. I was going to work on Bernard, but maybe I'll work on threading. Threading is not the kind of thing I'm super comfortable working with on stream. It's not something I do a lot. But yeah, the lock is helping because it lets me do placements that the cursor system would not allow me to do, really. Like dragging back forwards. Dragging forwards from the back is really hard to handle that way. Why can't I go lower than Z though? Oh, I am low. Okay. So wait, why can't I? So how do I do this before? There we go, like that. So wait, why is just hanging out here one? Oh, it's remembering the Z level, I think, is what it's doing, which we don't actually want it to do. Oh, maybe we do. Maybe that is what we want it to do. But then it's bouncing back. I don't want it to do that either. Okay, so it's resetting itself, which I don't necessarily want it to do. Hey, bad at making a username. Welcome in. I won't judge you. FTL Faster Than Light is what we're talking about when we say FTL. It's a classic game by Subset Games from 2012. 2012. I'm so used to saying the word 2020 something. I couldn't even say 2012 correctly. But yeah, it's a game about starship management. Classic, part of the classic, roguelike revitalization of the aughts, the early aughts, or 10s, whatever we called them. Seems older than 2012. I know, right? You would have guessed close to the Braid date. Yeah, it's crazy. They made this game in 18 months. We've already spent more than 18 months working on an editor tool. But although, to be fair, they were working full-time. They were working full-time in Shanghai, having quit their jobs at 2K. There's no way that is what it means. Yeah. Fighting tiny lions. I think that's pretty good. I think that would probably be a good one, Adagon. But yeah, how's it going, Bad at making a username? Happy Friday. We're having a very slow, sleepy stream here. I'm ready. I'm ready for the weekend. I don't know about anyone else. Oh, doxing my Steam username here, and also the current balance of my Steam wallet. I should probably log out so I can do this without doing that, but whatever. C'est la vie. You should make a fighting tiny lions game. That sounds good. That makes me think of Tiny Manticore from Adventure Time. That weird little recurring character, Tiny Manticore. One giant gorilla versus 50 tiny lions. See, the problem is you're getting quickly into How Many Dudes territory, which is that new game by Butterscotch Shenanigans. How Many Dudes? Which is based on their, like, I Global Game Jam game? Like, this is how many dudes. 50% of dudes think that they could fight a gorilla one-on-one, which is definitely not how it works. But yeah, they have a very funny... They've been having a lot of success with YouTube shorts and stuff. This is a very marketable game, it turns out. Good for them, I say. Very cute. They got items and relics and, like, all these types of dudes. You don't only fight gorillas. It's like... I think it's presented as like almost like a betting game where it's like, do you want to fight like 100 duck-sized horses or 10 horse-sized ducks? And like, how many dudes do you think it would take to beat that? Yeah, it seems very fun. But yeah, that's what fighting tiny lions seems to me would turn into. That was a meme way before Butterscotch made a game. Oh yeah, they're trading on the meme, obviously. I'm just saying that's a great way to make a marketable game. They're definitely trading on the meme. I think it's a good move. You checking to see if I implemented your slime system yet, Adagon? Gotta catch the tiny lions. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. All right, so we're resetting the Z level in a weird way when we do this, and I don't totally understand why. You did make it so anyone can add it now. The button on the side is actually functional. Rad. That's super cool. I think I would have a hard time if I had like all of those notifications in my chat. But I do like that system. I might have to play around with it. You've been trying to cut down on this spam? Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. You know what I should do? I should sign out of Steam on this browser. For the sake of... Can I not even do that easily? Wow, they don't even make it easy to do that. There it is. All right. Now I can show people Steam games without doxing myself. Adagon, people get 100% catch rate on their first catch, and future ones get less and less, so people are less incentivized to just sit and catch every 5 minutes. Oh, that's smart. That almost feels like a dark pattern, but actually I think that's quite good. I don't think it's dark at all. I mean, I think if money was involved, it would be, but it's clever. All right, so why is this not doing what I want it to do? This is definitely a low focus stream. So, I apologize if anyone came in here thinking I would actually get anything done today. Goes back up over time. No, I like that. That's clever. Because, yeah, you don't want people just spamming it, because they certainly would. So this still sets it off. It's interesting that the offset, it kind of depends on what face you're on. Okay, this one's not doing it anymore, which is good. That's not good either. What's happening here? Whatever's happening here. It's only happening sometimes. Okay, so we don't have any Z index shifting, except under certain circumstances. Circumstances I don't understand. Nanigans, you're sorting out UVs and normals. Nice. This is being weird. I wonder what happens when I'm in select mode. Oh, we're not doing any kind of selection for some reason. This is totally going away. Interesting. Hey, Fusionist, how's it going? Happy Friday. Going well. How about me? It's good. It's good. This has been a very lazy stream. I'm feeling pretty unfocused, pretty tired just in general. I don't know if this is going to be a super long one. I would like to fix whatever this is so that I can focus on something else tomorrow. There's days like this. Yeah, Mama said. Arneo, tell us a story, Fusionist. Chat's almost as sleepy as Dave. That's a great idea. Nanigans, you want to get the primitives of the tile stuff all done? Because you think you can do some nice looking stuff by layering on decals and masking different textures using vertex painting? I bet you could. John Blow was on I think Thomas Brush's podcast. And he did a cool thing where he actually showed off a lot of the crazy environmental effects towards like the last like section of the podcast. It's a visual podcast. He actually showed a bunch of the stuff for how they do really interesting texture painting and stuff. Looked really neat. I mean, I'm not doing anything in 3D, so I don't care, but it might be a cool thing to check out. They're doing some neat stuff. It sounds like you're heading in the same direction of what they were already doing with their, I don't know the name of the game. It's like the Order of the Sinking Star, I guess. Seemed very technically interesting. You saw that video too? Yeah, it was really cool to see some more of the technical side of what's going on with that. I definitely saw him make a lot of the game on stream, but you know, you pay attention to what, like a fragment of what they're doing. This is an endorsement of John Blow as a person. I'm just interested in the technology. All you do these days is sit in a chair? Yeah, I'm starting to develop health issues from that. No cap. On God. Sitting in a chair all day is not good for you. Standing at a computer is not great either, but stand in the chair. There you go, Adagon. Best of both worlds. Smooth into second, redeeming the stretch. Thank you. Started that too? You started yoga to counter that? I think I need to like do some physical therapy before I start trying to deal with that myself. I'm certain if I start doing exercises myself, I will injure myself. Good afternoon. How's it going? How's it going, Smooth? All right, we're trying to fix one thing today. We're working on it. We're making a very feeble attempt today. Nanigans, you were following along with the stuff back when he started it and was working on Jai. You sort of moved on, stopped paying attention. The game looks good. He's got a lot of good insights. Yeah, I listen to him for game dev. Not for, you know, his personal opinions about stuff that's usually none of our business. But yeah, force to be reckoned with in the game dev world for sure. Even if he's alienated a lot of the industry. When he says something about game design, I pay attention. I feel you there. This is one of the few sports that feel safe to you. That and swimming. Yeah. Yeah, I have a friend who teaches Pilates. I should start taking Pilates again. Problem is when you're healthy, it doesn't feel like you need it. And then when you're unhealthy, you're like, ah, I see what I've lost. All right, so we're doing some weird offsetting here. I bet it's super obvious what I'm doing. There's certainly this else situation where we are remapping and we're adding this based on the current Z level. And I guess the goal with that makes sense. That actually seems fine. I'm not going to mess with this part, I think. I feel like it should just be this. Let's try this again. That was behaving weirdly, but I feel like that's close to what we want. Okay, it's not doing any weird stuff when I hit the control key. It is growing. I see. No, that we don't want. That we don't want. Oh, you know what we probably... You know what? I'm maybe doing this in the wrong order. Yeah, because we don't want to grow it like that. That's not the intent. It's supposed to just scale up and down. So maybe what we do is we set the cursor first and then we modify the Z level. I'm doing it in the other order, which seemed correct, but maybe that's actually quite wrong. What if we did it like this? So we set this up the way it should be. We set all of this stuff up, and then we redefine it. I think we might still want the W, but what we can do is we can say... I do think we still want this W component. I think we want to remember the W component. Maybe not. Maybe that's causing weird stuff to happen. I guess we don't, if we're manually setting the Z. Arneo, you fished a new chair out of your garbage room before Christmas? Interesting. Someone had thrown a perfectly good computer chair out with a note. Good chair, free to take. You brought it to your place, you tried it, super comfy. Yet after trying it once, you have not sat on it since, and now it just has a pile of clothes on it. Rip. That's your chair story. It's pretty typical. Can I just say game.input.cursor coords with Z equals cursor Z level? Can I just set the Z level, then modify it? Will this give me what I want? I think the answer is a strong maybe. Let's see. Let's see about that. That's all we're really trying to flex with this. So if we set out our thing, then I set my controls for the heart of the sun here. Okay, that's not having the intended effect here. Why does it do that sometimes and do this sometimes? Why is it only going back and forth one now? Okay, that's weird. That's not having the effect I want. I need to keep track of something while I'm in direct control mode. And I need to think of the direct control as an offset from that. So I think when we're in direct control mode, we need to calculate everything normally and then do some fancy stuff to set that Z level. I just don't totally understand what that's going to look like. I'm having a hard time forming thoughts today. Okay, so this is the problem with what's happening here. So we're going up, but we're also going out, and that's not what we want. Yeah, I almost need to... I almost need some kind of locked offset, which is the offset from the tile mapping.xy. Yeah, I almost need to, like, when we begin a direct control, I need to know how far off of the underlying tile mapping input layer we are. And then I don't want to offset it anymore along the X and Y. All I want to do is continue to offset it manually along the Z level. So I can't do this plus vector 3i.1 thing. It needs to be... I mean, I could calculate it based on some stuff, or I could just store it as an offset. And then all we'll do is we would manipulate the Z level offset. What if I just set like this, int locked Z level? So what if we lock this thing? You could also call it static or something like that. So what if we do this thing? I could almost just have an offset, actually, an XY offset. Maybe we'll just have like a current offset. call it control maybe to like remind us. Control offset. Rather than locking the Z level, maybe we set a control offset. We could also have a Z level control Boolean. Maybe we want to just say under control or something like that. So we could do something here initially. We could say if under control, we could say if not under control. If we're not under control, all we really want to do is set the control offset to be I think you need to go back, take another look at your mesh vertex order. Mesh looks correct. The normals of UVs are both completely off. Oof. Yeah. I don't know how I would debug that, honestly. Okay, so when our cursor isn't finding anything, when the raycast hit fails, our fallback is to basically set the cursor coords to be the XY mapping plus an offset based on the cursor Z level. And that offset accounts for the fact that as you go up, you also go forward. And so when I go down, we have to remember that. We have to remember that offset somehow. And again, your logic for the north versus south faiths is slightly different than your logic for east versus west or up versus down. They all look correct, but obviously wrong somewhere. But you're tired. It's Friday. I think you're going to hop off, play some Baldur's Gate or something. Take a look at Fresh Eyes tomorrow. I think that's a good call. I'm feeling that same fatigue. But, you know, we're live, so I'm going to keep struggling with it. But yeah, go take a break. Do something fun. If you feel like you're at the end of your, you know, if you're running on empty, if you're running on fumes here, just take a break. It's Friday. Thank Godot, it's Friday. Nobody should feel like they gotta bust, you know, their chops, whatever that means. So I need to think about this more clearly. So when we do this, if we hit a block, it's super easy to determine what we're doing. Our Z level. Oh, you know, this might actually be part of the problem here. No, that's right. That's right. Yeah, so I think we do lock something. I think the control offset, well, it can just be an int because it's identical. not under control, then what we're going to do is we're going to say cursor, we're going to say control offset equals cursor Z level. And then we'll say under control equals true. Oh, I love this. And then if we're under control, then we can apply this kind of offset based on what the Z level was. And now here, down here, what we can do is we can say this. So we can say game.input.tilemapping.xy. We can say plus vector 2i.1 times the control offset. And then we will separately, we'll say new vector 4i. Arneo, you're feeling that lazy Friday creeping in? You like how it feels? Nice. It can be nice. It can be nice if you're not like bogged down with anxiety about work or whatever else. It can definitely feel nice. I think we've got a little bit left in the tank. Nanigans, have a good one. Good luck with the meetup tomorrow. Catch me next week. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, are we doing, what's our streaming schedule next week? I think it's normal. Let me make sure that's the case before I start promising people stuff. Oh man, Amazon wants me to know that Fallout Season 2 is here. Oh, believe me, I know. I'm an episode behind, but I might. Yeah, I've seen episode 3. Man, it's good. No spoilers, but I'm enjoying Season 2. I think maybe they have too many characters they're trying to follow now. I think they introduced us to too many characters. And I'm worried we're going to barely advance anybody's storyline, and then we're going to have to wait for Season 3. But I'm enjoying it. Arneo, you're going to shuffle some code around indifferently until you fall asleep. Isn't that just the way? Ain't that just the way? All right. I think I'm dialing in some kind of answer here. The only real question is, do I want to keep track of the W offset? I think the answer is no. But maybe it isn't. Maybe we remember the W. Let's include it for now. It might be wrong, but let's include it for now. Do it like this so it fits on one line. Let's see what this does for us. What we do need to do is we need to set under control to be false. In all these other cases. Arneo, your only complaint for Season 2 has been not enough Maximus. Like the change he's shown from Season 1. You want to see where it goes? I don't know if you're behind. If you're further behind than me, there does seem to be some Maximus. We do seem to be getting our Maximus on. As well as a new Brotherhood character that I'm enjoying a lot. I think I talked about him previously, but I'll try to hold back. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's better than Season 1. You saw the Kumail Nanjiani episode? Ah, okay. I like that episode. I don't remember the name of the young ghoul character that was like a Brotherhood squire. I like how they've developed his story as well. I enjoyed that episode a lot. That was probably my favorite episode so far. Episode 3. I don't think this season's as good as season 1 was. I think they're too scattered. What do we say, kids? Yeah, exactly. What does he say? It was... I remember it. It's good. It's like, most kids are dead by this age or something like this. By this point or something like that. That's good. Yeah, I really enjoy him. I really enjoy his character. Yeah, I haven't seen episode 4 yet, so yeah, I think they may be bit off more than they can chew with that show. I think they've got too many characters with too many storylines, and I don't think they're gonna have enough time. I don't know how many episodes this season's gonna have, but it's not gonna be enough. By now, that's what he says. Yeah. Most kids are dead by now. That's pretty good. That's pretty funny. Good stuff. Well, hopefully nobody heard all of those spoilers because we were in ads, but we're back now. Yeah, I don't remember. I think he said something like that. I thought he mentioned his age, or their age. Okay, so that's not, I think the W is a mistake. I think accounting for the W is a mistake, but not accounting for the W also seems to be a mistake. So why can't I go below 1? Oh, probably because of the odd W offset. So yeah, maybe W needs to be hard locked to 0. I feel like that's going to cause weird stuff to happen. Oh, you know what? Maybe the control offset shouldn't include the W. Maybe not, though. I don't know. Our cursor logic is getting confusing. It's a great scene. Yeah, it's an incredible scene. I feel like they could have shown that scene by itself as like part of as like a teaser trailer or something. It's such an incredible scene. It's a great cold open for the episode, if nothing else. It's a brilliant cold open. Okay, so I feel like we have to choose the least bad option here, because either way we're having some problems with this cursor offset thing. The W, which is the thing that lets you know, like, I feel like what we want to do is we want to hard lock to whatever that is. Maybe not. I feel like we can't make that determination in this part of the code. I feel like it's too early. Like, we're too far upstream to know whether the next system is going to care about the offset. I'm having a hard time with it. Okay, that part seems to be working just fine here. We can't go down, though. That's weird. Oh, you know, it makes sense that we can't go down. So what if I switch to selection? Oh, that's weird. That shouldn't happen. Oh, maybe it should, because I'm doing this. What if we stay here? Interesting. Okay, it's kind of working. It's definitely prone to, like, user error. Like, it's really easy to get kind of lost. Arneo, is that a cursor offset, or are you just happy to see me? That's hilarious and gross. Get a hold of yourself. phrasing. All right. We're done. We're done with those jokes. Clearly, I'm past my prime here this stream. It's definitely not my finest stream. Yeah, I would call this a conundrum, what we've got ourselves into here. We got a lot of weird stuff going on. Just making it hard to adjust the cursor stuff. Cursor controls. We're also running into some issues with the fact that we only run the overlay if it's backed by a real tile. I don't think we can do that. I think we're going to rely on the cutaway system to make it so that we can show off the selection overlays even if there's no block underneath it. I think we need to do that. And then I also think we need tile map layers that are shadows, that are like low lights instead of highlights. We need a low light so that we can do shadow casting stuff for this. Like, we definitely need a lot more tweaks to make it so like you have any idea where you are in the 3D space. I think we're getting closer with this control offset concept, though. It's not that different than locking like taking into account the pivot point when you're like trying to do a rotation. It's not the same, but it has a similar thing where you're like basically doing a transform. We kind of need to know where we transform from. None of that probably makes any sense. Who knows? I don't know. I should probably stop at some point. But we just ran ads, so I'll keep going for a bit. I hate running ads and then ending the stream. It feels rude. So we'll go for another 20 minutes or something. Whether we get anything done in the next 20 minutes, that's I wouldn't bet on it. All right. The other thing we'll need to work on next week is like scrolling through, because there's another half of this, which is scrolling through the block hit list when you're not in manual mode. All right, so we need some stability here. I think we need to record the W component. I think we can't not. I think we have to do it. But the problem is we have to figure it out. I think it depends on whether, I think we still need to see, so if we're having direct control, I think we still need to determine whether we actually have a count. Problem is we need some kind of stability in that. Whatever, let's start with this. Let's start with just recording the W component and seeing if we can make it work. Hey, Skywalk, what's up? Happy Friday. Okay, that's the problem, isn't it? You know what we could do? And this might be the thing. I think we need to hard code. Here we go. I think I understand what I want to do. I want it to be like this, and I want to do this part. I want to add the offset. I want to hard code it in there. See if we can do this in a way that's not totally disgusting. What's the problem here? I can pass in a vector 3i if I need to. Didn't we do? Oh, I need another parentheses. I think. No? Okay. Skywalk, Cloudflare, Flare breaking all your stuff. Problem perhaps because your mouse over position outside the map? No. You just got here just lucky guess. Well, I wouldn't consider it lucky. No, we have a case that we run into. We keep track, so when we're doing this deal, our whole like cursor tile thing, we keep track of the direction to the next block. And so we either do and we record it in the fourth component. Oh my lord. Eris Ezra. Pew 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 raid. We got a raid. Raid alert. Hide the code. How's it going? Eris Ezra. Chaos raid. Hey. Hey, Ame. Conrad. What up? Good to see you again. How's it going, Eris? How's the stream? How goes the deving? It's all right. We definitely have a case of the Fridays. Like, my brain barely works. We're trying to fix one thing, and we're going to spend the whole stream doing it. Hey, the Whitechapel. Thank you for the follow. I've been to that bar. Hey, Bonofi. How's it going? How's the stream? How's life? How's dev? We're working on our block editing tool. We're doing a whole mess of things right now. Let me undo what kind of horrible thing I had going on here. So we're working, I guess I should talk about what we work on first before I just go into my tech demo here. We're working on an isometric 2D FTL-like game, like a starship management game. The underlying data is like 3D. They're like these 3D ships, but it's all rendered in isometric 2D. So we've been building this editor tool for like building the ships and stuff. Ezra, you wish you could stay? You got a raid and run? No worries. Thank you. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate you. Let me give you the shout out before you get out of here. Have a good weekend. So we can build these platforms and everything, right? So we can build these spaces out. And we use this kind of neat little raycasting system that's a fake. It's fake because this is all 2D. But it's able to figure out where we are in 3D, like what face you're mousing over and everything. But we're trying to add like a manual control mode that basically ignores this. It ignores the result of the raycast, you know? And we're having some issues. I was describing some of those issues. But yeah, we can do a lot of neat stuff with this system. you know. So we got all this. Kind of weird. We're having some performance issues too, which is a little concerning. I'm gonna look into that over the weekend. I think there's some threading stuff we could do to speed this up. Purposeful butchering of pronunciation is always fun. The difference is I'm not purposefully butchering the pronunciation of anyone's name. I'm just incidentally butchering the pronunciation of everyone's name. It's not malicious. Remember, I forgot whose razor it is, but somebody's razor is basically, it goes something like, never attribute to maliciousness what is explainable with incompetence or something like that. Like, basically never assume bad intent if it could easily just be them. If it's just as likely, if not more so, that they're just incompetent. I'm way more incompetent than I am malicious, I promise you. So yeah, we're trying to figure this out. We're trying to make my manual control mode work, because the problem for us when we're doing this thing is the manual control behaves weirdly. Because we track a lot of stuff for this. Like, for example, here our block is above. You can see we're using, and this is what I was telling Skywalk when the raid started, was the way that this works is we actually, first we try to figure out whether you're on the left side or the right side of the tile, of the underlying, there at the very bottom of the block volume, there is a tile map layer which we cast against to figure out, you know, what tile you're at. So we figure out whether you're on the left side or the right side, and then depending on that, we either do a clockwise or a counterclockwise spiral up from that towards the camera. So we're doing kind of like a reverse raycast from the back to the front. And so we record, so if there's a block here, we'll say, okay, there's a block here. We also record the direction to the next block. So, and that's where the numbers are here. So you can see, like, there's a block here. This number 4 is along the y-axis because we use diamond down. So this is y-axis. So we record, so in our vector 4, for where we record the cursor position, we record the vector 3 of like where this is in world space. And then in the 4th coordinate, we record just like an enum, which is shorthand for a basic unit vector, like a basis vector, like X, Y, Z, whatever. An axis. We have an enum for for each axis. So for this, it'd be like X, Y, Z, and like 2, because 2 is Y. If you record X, Y, Z. And then so ignore the 4. The 4 is a priority thing. It doesn't matter. And then so we get to the next block. Because the direction is nice because it also lets us know where the next block is in our spiral. So then we get to the 3rd block, and now it's, and then the next block after that is along the x-axis, so we record that. And then now we get to the next block, and the next block along this counterclockwise spiral is the z-axis. It's the top face, and then we record that. And now we're back to, you know, 1 and 4 are identical, right? And then the only difference with the right-hand one is that we spiral in the opposite direction. So that's our fake raycast system. Problem is when we switch into a manual control mode. So here you'll notice that, like, the cursor, you'll notice the offset. Like when I'm on the sidewall of something, we offset to the right. If I'm on the sidewall here, we offset to the left. If I'm on top, we offset up. If I switch to the eraser, the offset goes away because we only care about the offset when we're placing a block, not when we're erasing it or selecting. If we're selecting, we don't want the offset either. But the problem is when I go into control mode, it behaves weirdly. And that's what we're trying to figure out, is like why the behavior is so weird when we're in the offset. When we're in this offset mode. So like right now, getting a weird offset. We're only getting it sometimes, which is fascinating. I kind of understand why. It has to do with where on the underlying tile map you are. And so we're thinking about how to fix that offset. But you want a manual control, so I can manually control this and like scroll up and down. Because you want to be able to like... You don't want to have to do everything like a 3D printer, right? You want to be able to specify some of this stuff, right? And then, so you can specify it and then make use of that and like keep going. So you don't always need to use manual control, but it is useful sometimes. You must retire to the room of sleep. Good night, Mr. Magoo. Take it easy. Have a good weekend. See you again soon. Oh, I was gonna make sure that we were having a regular streaming schedule next week. Oh no, so holiday. Okay, so there won't be a stream Tuesday because I'll be coming back from my long weekend. So next week we'll be streaming Wednesday to Saturday, looks like. And then we should be back to a regular schedule after that, for a while at least. All right, but we got some more time. We're going to be still working on stuff for a little bit here. Not too long, but a little bit. Appreciate you Raiders popping in here, hanging out. If you're new, appreciate you. Hope you're having success with whatever you're working on. Or if you're just chilling because it's the end of the week, that's great. I would love to join you. But I got some work left. I got to go back to the day job after this. And I got to get some laundry going as well. There's always more laundry. Pixel art to man's blood. Thank you. Appreciate you. I love your little lizard emote. Oh, that's one of yours. Nice. Are you a streamer, Ame? One of the first ones you made. That stupid TikTok was everywhere. It's very cute. Also, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, let me know. I'm not doing it on purpose. I promise. You do? Mostly gaming? Haven't dipped in trying into art stream yet? I got it right? Awesome. Nice, nice. Stream games. What kind of games do you like to play? Most people say Amy or AIM. Oh, interesting. League of Legends, Hunt Showdown. You've been trying out Arc Raiders. Oh, nice. How do you like Arc Raiders? I played Arc Raiders a bit. It's like two totally different games. Solos and squads are almost like completely different games. It's incredible how different the matchmaking is and the lobbies are between the two. It's pretty fun. I don't get to play a lot, but I played a lot more when it first came out. Interesting game. We'll see if it has legs. You're a variety gamer. Chances are you played it. Mostly big-time MMO player or FPS player. They're so few and far between now. It's true. That's true. I feel like the Arc Raiders devs just canceled. And by canceled, I mean like are ending long-term support of their last FPS, right? The finals or whatever. Thought I read that somewhere. To better support Arc Raiders. I mean, you only got 2 hours into Arc Raiders. It's pretty interesting for the PvE. Yeah, it's really heavy on the PvE. You're waiting to see who's gonna make you switch to on-site mode. That's funny. I think squads. I think in squads the default is kill on site, and then in solos you absolutely shouldn't do it because yeah you'll get pushed into a different lobby, right? You'll get pushed into the KOS lobby. I'm in the friendly lobby. Like if someone is like if a stranger is running at me and they're getting chased by Ark and stuff, I could just shoot them and take their stuff, but I usually pop out and help them. I've never gotten burned by that before. I've never or at least not in solos. I've definitely had people be duplicitous in squads, but again, I think it's easier to develop an us and them mindset when you're playing squads. And when you're solos, it's like kind of we're all solos. We're all trying to make it work. You heard there's an aggression matchmaking? Yeah, there definitely is. Yeah, I think it's nice. I think it provides a good motivation to like play, to presume, positive intent, which is something that we could all try to do more on the internet, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. I've been enjoying it so far. I don't think I'm playing it enough. But what I've played of it is fun. Well, that's cool. So if you're a variety game streamer, what drives you to watch game dev streams? Oh, is it the pixel art? I know Eris Ezra has some pretty cool pixel art stuff. And you commented on I think my pixel art. 10. This is my pixel art. There's not a lot of it. I would love to spend more time making art. I've been stuck in the code for, most of it's like 90% of what I do is programming, but man, I would love to spend some time on some of the other disciplines. I really enjoy it. That art is awesome. You're not at that point. It's so easy. This is the second piece of pixel art I ever made, I think. Besides my logo. This logo was like the first thing I made, I think. And then the style guide was the second thing I made. So yeah. Just do it. The bar is low. My trick is to go very low resolution. Because I don't know anatomy and stuff. A lot of people say low resolution is harder, and there's truth in that. But for me, it's super obvious if I put a pixel in the wrong spot when I'm at this very low resolution. For the game dev stuff, you've dabbled in engines. You recently learned Godot thanks to Eris. It's crazy for a second piece. You can't isometric to save your life. That's literally all I can do is isometric. Something in my brain is broken. Arneo, your trick is to do an animate object. That's not a bad idea. I only recently started doing modeling organic or animating organic characters, right? Like here's a couple of the pieces that we did for Bare Necessities, right? This little silly bear. This was my first animating organic characters and stuff. It's for a jam game I did last year called Bare Necessities, where I had to do everything from scratch. It was cute. It's on my itch. The game is dog shit, but the art was fun to make. Skywalk, your trick is to make it in 3D and record sprite sheets and animation. That's a good trick, honestly. That should be the default way to make 2D art nowadays, I think. Because you save so much time on like lighting and animation and all sorts of stuff. That's the Dead Cells approach, right? It's good stuff. Ame, you've been bouncing in between resolutions. You're trying to find what you like. Overall, what you want to do characters. Your brain says no, you learned this today. It's funny. All right, yeah, I don't know how to handle this offset thing. I think I was getting close. What did I decide? I decided I wanted to bake. I think I want to bake this in here. So I think I want to do is what I want to say. How am I gonna bake it though? I had an idea and then I got distracted. Which is nobody's fault but mine. Same with attempting Godot. You'll likely dabble enough into it to move your sprites around. It goes beyond that, you'll be surprised. I don't think that's a problem. I think that's fine. Maybe do a game jam or two. Something like low pressure. Like I could recommend like a Godot wild jam. Something like that. Maybe something even lower speed. Probably do them as shoot 'em up. I think that's great. You have to pick your battles super carefully when you're in a jam or something like that. Like you can't be trying to reinvent everything. You got to make a bunch of assumptions and then iterate on one area. Pick one area, right, to focus on each jam. And then everything else should either be just like whatever the minimum is or like do something very well established. All right, so what I think I need to do, I said I thought I needed to hard code in the offset. I don't know if that's true though. Oh, we need to remember. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've like totally lost the thread on this problem. Let's see if we can find it again. I feel like I was moments away from some kind of breakthrough, but my brain is just not working today. Yeah, the time crunch for Game Jam is tough, but it also, I think you also end up being very surprised by, at least I am. I'm always surprised by what I'm able to accomplish in a short period of time. So this offset thing is not doing it for us. Why is it going sideways like that? I want to eliminate this when I activate manual mode. I want to eliminate whatever this offset thing is that keeps happening. And it seems really hard to eliminate it totally. That seems to be the thing I'm struggling with. I had an idea for a second, which was hard coding in the offset. But I don't want to do that because not everything cares about the offset. So I think it matters. The problem is we alter the Z level based on the offset, which I don't think we should be doing. In fact, I'm very sure that we shouldn't. I think that's actually causing a lot of the problem. The fact that we are baking that offset in. So I'm going to remove that for a second and see if that helps us at all. Yeah, I don't know a lot about shmups. I definitely played 1942 a lot in the local Round Table Pizza. I think that was my go-to. All right, that's still happening, which isn't ideal. It's interesting that that's not seemingly mattering any at all. Yeah, we need stability. So let's focus on achieving stability first between the two modes. Maybe we alter the Z level after we assign the coordinates. That doesn't seem right either. We'll just try a few things here. I don't know how to stop this. How do I stop this from happening? So xy plus vector 3i dot 1 times the control offset. Then we set the cursor z level. And we set the game.input.cursor chords.w. Just gonna keep trying different things until we start to make some kind of progress here. Hey, Sapphire. Looks like you make it back in time to catch at least a little bit of the stream. Yeah, the end here at least. We're struggling. Definitely struggling. Oh, so we're stepping all the way back when we do this. That's not good. I want it to be stable. It's very much not stable. So switching to manual control mode is creating an offset in most cases, I would say. Weirdly, not all cases, not this case for some reason. But in this case it is. And it's because it's still interference from the W component. The W component is causing some crazy interference. Hey, Jacob. We drawing ships again? Oh, we're always drawing ships again. Sapphire, skip music track. You got it. Yeah, that was a little intense. I might skip this one too. Everyone's had a great Friday. I know we've got like basically nothing done today, but you know, we're trying to understand the situation, and sometimes that just involves a lot of messing around. So we definitely need to keep the W component. You know, even if we have the Z level control, I think the problem is that our process is incomplete. Because even if we're manually managing the Z level, we still need to respect and think about the result of the cursor block hit list. The problem is I just don't know how to maybe we need to search backwards from the top of the hit list to find the block, the first block that is at the Z level that we're currently at. How's the stream gone so far? Pretty good. We got a raid. We've been just chilling. I've been struggling to do anything. We're hanging out. Nice way to end the week. I was mentioning how there will not be... We're taking... Just due to, you know, the long holiday weekend and the Godot meetup tomorrow, I won't be streaming Saturday and I won't be streaming Tuesday. So we'll be back again on Wednesday when I do eventually wrap this up here, which probably won't be that long from now. Just updating everyone on the schedule. I'm definitely just out of juice, which is unfortunate because I've got another like 3 or 4 hours of work to do in my day job after this. So I might need to make a cup of tea or something. Jacob, you'll have to tell us all about the cool stuff at the Godot meetup. Yeah, we'll see what I work on. I want to work on threading for the tile map system, because it seems like we're running into a bit of a bottleneck in terms of passing the tile maps back to Godot. I made some changes recently that should prevent the tile maps or the arrays from getting copied when we pass them back from C# to Godot, which is usually an annoying thing that has to happen. But I tried to set them up in a way that's very optimal for the marshaller, but I think the problem is that we're still doing it all sequentially, when what I would like to do is assign a thread to like each something. Maybe each Z layer or something. We'll have to figure out how we're going to do that, but I kind of want to work on that tomorrow. Although, honestly, I might just work on this coords thing if I can't figure it out. You're mega fried? Yeah, geez. Goofed and ran this morning. It full on broke your brain today. You know, it's funny. That's definitely something that can happen. I feel like at a certain point, you'll cross that threshold where running will go from like getting to like, you know, exhausting you, and it will actually start giving you energy back, right? But there is some level of fitness that you have to reach first, right? But I've had times in my life where I was physically fit, and I remember that. I remember if crossing that barrier from like it taking energy to go. I would bike, I wouldn't run. But then eventually you get the energy back. It's like great. Sapphire, you could have lost your streak today if you weren't able to pop in for a minute. Yeah, that would have been a shame. That would have been a shame. Yeah, I guess that's how that works. It's 24 hours, right? So it's not like you can save your stream on the next stream. It's like you have 24 hours to save your stream from when you lose it. Your streak, your stream streak. Weird. Jacob, yeah, exactly. You're slowly getting back into it. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be good. I gotta get into that this year. I gotta get back into shape. I can't. I physically like have like I'm just broke activity. I'm like I've become like just a broken person, and I need to slowly get back into it. You're at 48. You want to make it to 50? I think you'll do it. I think you could do it. And then, you know, don't worry about it. Your back and shoulders are at that same scenario. Yeah, for me, it's lower back, and like my muscles are actually tightening up to the point where like I'm having problems just from sitting all day. Excuse me. All right, I think I gotta go. I don't think I'm gonna fix this. I guess I'm gonna fix this tomorrow. I don't know, we're not fixing it today. But I gotta wrap it up. This has been fun, if not particularly productive. I know it's been chill. We got raided, so I need to find a raid target. We gotta get this. We gotta keep this raid train on the tracks here. Where are we going? Hypnotic's on. Fern is on. Cry Kid is on. Let's see who we got going. Thank you all. Thank you for the follow, Ame. Appreciate that. Sit stand redeem. Yeah, I paused it because it's kind of hard for me to move my chair and get then stand up and everything, but it'll come back. It's got to come back for my own health, nothing else. But yeah, where are we going? Where are we headed? I'm looking at the people I follow and looking for someone. Fine is streaming. They're playing a game. Adagon's playing Hightail. It's fun. Covino's going. What's Covino up to? Covino's a good Godot streamer. Covino's doing some cool stuff. Maybe we'll go hang out with Covino for a minute. They do good stuff. I think you might like them. Yeah, thanks. Maybe Bernard's spirit. Bless your weekend. Thank you, Arneo. Catch everyone later. I appreciate you all. We'll be back Wednesday. Hey, Steuben Hawker. Thanks for hanging out today. Catch you next time. Appreciate you. Yeah. We're started on our 4th century. This was episode 301. And yeah, we're doing stuff. We got a whole 4th century ahead of us. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your week. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.